More creative innovation from CyberLink. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from CyberLink is Creative Director David Morgan. Hi, David.
Hi, Fred. How you doing?
Terrific. Well, the latest suite of multimedia creation software has arrived. New versions of PowerDirector and PhotoDirector and more. Once again, you're employing AI to make these jobs easier, right?
Yes.
Well, let's take a look. First, I think we can check out PowerDirector.
So the first thing we're going to do is look at PowerDirector. One thing I do want to point out is we are looking at PowerDirector Business. We have two versions now, which is just PowerDirector 365 and then PowerDirector Business, or 365 Business. The PowerDirector 365 Business does include a extra little designer called Ad Designer, which is basically made for businesses, small businesses, influencers to create videos really quick and easy. It's basically all template based, and it does have some AI tools tied in, like cutout tools and things like this. But I'm going to basically focus on the PowerDirector 365 today. So I will be using the business, but it's the same as PowerDirector 365, except for that one little thing. So I'm going to go ahead and open up PowerDirector 365. And the first thing we're going to look at today is our new AI object detection with effects. So what this is a tool that we can use to basically apply effects to a single subject that's moving, like your main subject of your video. I'm going to go ahead and just open the project. So I think it was 2 years ago, we did our first AI tools for detecting objects in photos and videos. Now we're kind of like just taking that further. So I'm just going to show you a few effects that are created with this tool. And what it is you can basically see from this cat, the tool actually specifically locates your moving objects and puts effects around them or next to them, like this ghosting effect. I'm going to show you that. So when you add it under effect, you can basically use the opacity here, but I'm kind of turned down so I can show you where it comes in and out. And this is where you turn the effect in and out, or on and off. And you can see it just kind of outlines here, that's that effect. And then here's like a RV driving. So it doesn't have to just be a human. It can be any kind of object, as you saw a beach ball earlier. And then you see this being, it's just a vehicle. Pull up, this is another one. And what I'm going to do with this one is just kind of show you, this actually applies to other effects that we've had for a really long time. For example, like the Chinese painting, you can kind of make them black and white, kind of give it that take on me kind of look from the old famous video. You could also convert that so then it's a brown background opposed to him. And all these effects can basically be found in our effects room. So the new ones are under style effects, AI object detection, and these are the specific ones, and you can actually layer them. So for example, if we go to this, I can actually put multiple on the same person or object. I also can come here and go to all of our different effects. So for example, I was using like the Chinese painting. You can use all kinds of color edge, whatever, just drag it onto your object or onto your clip. It will detect the object, and then you can just control it within your effects right here. So that's going to be our new AI object detection. Basically, it's just a really cool little feature that you can throw in. You can actually even control the keyframes. So you have a lot of control over these, and this is just going to automatically apply an effect to your main subject of your video throughout the duration. And then you can come in and basically turn it on and off. You can change its settings, how much you want to use of it, how much you want to not use of it. As you can see here, just different tools, and all these tools have different settings within them. So this is great for, if you want to make some fun TikTok effects or Instagram effects. This is the new tool to do for that. I'm just going to focus on basically the AI tools first. One thing I want to show is this was from last year, but we made an improvement to it. It's our AI object or AI sky replacement. What we did now is, before we only had skies from our library. Now you can basically create your own sky and put it in the background. So what I've done is I've actually created two skies that I created in PhotoDirector, which I'll show you later, using a couple of the effects. So like this would be like a glitch effect that I put into a sky, and then like making the sky a painting. I'll show you how to do that. But you can see how well the AI detects, even with the spinning windmill in front of it and the camera moving, and the skies look really real. The AI is really good at detecting what is the sky and what is not the sky. To use sky replacement, you go into our plugins, AI sky replacement. You can basically pull up through your import from media or your hard drive. When you do import from your media room, you actually can pull up all the Shutterstock content that you've downloaded. If you're unaware, we actually have Shutterstock and Getty images built into PowerDirector 365. There's over 8 million assets there for you to use, all royalty free. So if you have anything downloaded, it automatically opens here. So for example, that's the video you see with the painting. And then I can import my own sky and just click the painted sky and it automatically does it. And just hit transform and it all automatically transforms my video and adds it to my library. So that's the improvement we made, is now you can use your own skies. The next thing I'm going to show is our motion tracking, which we have created now in AI. We had motion tracking before. But what I want to show you is just a quick video. And what this is the AI tracking. This is our old tracking. This is the AI. And you can see how much better it is. You can see that basically we can go all the way to the end now before you start losing it when it's moving around a lot. And that obviously becomes a problem, and because you have to go back and retrack it. But now you don't have to, and I can show you how easy our tracking tool is. Just open this up. Just going to add our clip to the motion tracker under our tools. And then all you have to do is usually the AI will figure out what object you want to track. It's going to go ahead and put a little thing right there, and you can just track it. It's just going to track the whole thing for you. That's how simple our motion tracker is. Not have to be too accurate. It's pretty good at figuring out what you want to track and doing it for you. And then you can obviously apply clips, effects, like so. This is really good for blurring things out. You can also put titles where it would track with it, so you can have like tracking titles. So this is a really great AI-based tool that we now have. Before it was okay, but now it's AI-based, so the tracking stuff, I don't know, 10, 20 times better.
David, does it require a lot of horsepower on the computer side to utilize the software and take advantage of these things?
I mean, for the AI, yes, if you have a more powerful computer, it's going to go faster. You don't have to, it's just going to take a little bit more time, just because, you know, it has to process everything. But most computers, I've tested on a good number of computers. We have some Dell computers that are basically just meant for like word processing and stuff. It seems to run it fine on there. Obviously, it's going to take a minute or two longer for, like, for example, the sky replacement, because it has to go frame by frame and export that. So if you are running on a slower computer, it's just going to be a little bit more time, like rendering. So like, for example, when you render a preview on a quicker computer, obviously a more powerful computer, it's going to be faster. But if you are on a slower one, it's just going to be slower. So you can run it on almost any computer. It's just going to be a little slower. That's the only thing. Next thing I wanted to show is our denoise tools. So these are NVIDIA-based tools that we've brought into our software. So we had these tools before, but they're just a little bit better with AI behind them. So this right here is, it looks like, I don't know what it was shot on, but it definitely looks like a bit older. So I'm not sure how well you can see it on through this. They use the NVIDIA so you can see the difference. So I'm going to take off so you can see some grain in here. Looks like it was shot, you know, with some film, something probably like some 16mm film. When I apply the denoise, pick up the strength, you can see it's very clean. It almost looks like it was shot on just normal digital HD camera now. And this can also work really well with basically if you're using higher f-stops. So I'll show you in PhotoDirector. I have one that's shot in really high ISO, and basically what it does is it pulls out all the grain or the noise of your video or photo. So we have really good new AI noise removal tools in both PowerDirector and PhotoDirector. And now I'm going to show you our noise removal and for audio in PowerDirector. I'm going to just take this off so you can hear the original.
And then we'll excavate, we'll dig the foundation, maybe 8, 9 feet to the ground.
So that's almost unusable audio. I mean, really couldn't use it if you're making this for like YouTube or something. But with our new NVIDIA noise removal, I'll put that on and you can hear the difference.
Excavate, we'll dig the foundation, maybe 8, 9 feet to the ground. And then before the foundation, the footers,
Just so you can hear it back on. The noise off and on.
then we'll do the foundation wall, then you can see it.
That is certainly pretty remarkable. What a difference there.
Yeah, it's one of our best new tools, noise for audio. And that's also in PhotoDirector. So the last little audio tool, which all the audio tools are also on PhotoDirector, is our AI de-reverb. So this is going to be for removing reverb within a video first.
A lot more natural reverb. It's much bigger sounding room. Even though it's
So I'm not sure if you can hear that. There's a lot of echo in this. So then when I go to the de-reverb, we use the echo removal. So this is the original,
there's a lot more natural reverb.
and this would be with the fixed.
There's a lot more natural reverb. It's much bigger sounding room.
So we have a lot of tools. So if you're shooting for YouTube or something like that, you don't have the best environment, you have a really big room, or you have noise in the background. We have the tools basically now to make your audio sound great.
Tell us some about the pricing, and are there different packages? You mentioned business and the consumer side, but there are
Yeah,
others?
so with CyberLink PowerDirector 365 Business, that is a bit more expensive, and this is really going to be for people who need to make video ads. They're social media managers for marketing companies. We have our director suite, which includes PowerDirector, PhotoDirector, Audio Director, Color Director, and also comes with our screen recorder, which is always in PowerDirector. That's for our monthly plan, that's $30 a month, and then it's $130 for the full year. And that's basically everything you need for a full video production, audio production, photo editing, everything you need all in one package. With the PowerDirector 365 monthly, it's $20. And also our annual for PowerDirector 365 is $70. So every tool you just saw is within the PowerDirector 365. Then for PhotoDirector, the standalone is $15 a month, or it's annually $54.99. We also have both of those on Mac. So if you're a Mac user, you can also get those on Mac for the same price. And then we also have the perpetual versions of those. So PowerDirector Ultimate Suite, or Ultimate, I'm sorry, is going to be $140, and that's going to have all the tools that are coming out right now. It's basically everything except for your Shutterstock Getty images. That's for subscription only. Then we have PowerDirector 21 Ultra, which is like a less version. It doesn't have as many creative assets and things like that. Some effects will be missing, and that's going to be $100 perpetual, which basically when you buy it, you get it, no updates after that, but you have the software forever. And in PhotoDirector, we have 14 is going to be a one price, $100 for perpetual forever. Once you buy it, you have it. I always tell people I think the best deal is our 365, as you constantly get updates. We send out updates of your creative assets or whatever all the time. Every month. We also, every 3 months, we usually have some kind of big feature come out. Like for example, a couple of the features I showed actually came out through this whole year. And then our newest SKU, our newest basically product is our PowerDirector 365 Business. That is just PowerDirector 365. And what it is we have basically template creation. So this is great for if you're doing social media a lot, if you're needing to create ads. We basically have thousands upon thousands of templates that you can come in. And this is both photo-based, so you can create photo ads, or you can create video ads. This photo-based basically means you start with just photos, and you can create both a video or a image to export. And our video-based is basically starting with a video where you can, yes, export it as an image, but you can also export it as a video. And basically it is just come in here, you click on one, and you can edit it however you want. And then you have different aspect ratios to choose from, and you basically upload all your brand colors, your brand logos, and it'll automatically import those and create templates for you. And you can come in and edit everything from the image to the text. So that's our pricing.
Terrific. You want to show us a little bit of what's new in PhotoDirector?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and jump over to that. So the first thing I'll do is show our new cartoon. It seems to be a lot of people seem to be a big fan of this. This is basically, we created a cartoon and anime looks. So let me just grab an image. We can really see a face. So under guided, sorry, if you go under style, we have basically a lot of new kind of looks here. And what these are is it's basically going to make you look like a cartoon, right? So really quick and easy little cartoon look. This would be like the anime. So with the anime, it's going to close, basically like it's anime face. So it's going to close in on your face and just make it look like anime. And we also have 3D cartoons. So this is like more like a Pixar look. So those are our new style, basically cartoon and anime or 3D cartoon looks. Another thing we have done is we've updated our content aware to be AI based. I'm not sure if you've done a lot of content aware editing. I want to show you this tool. I'm pretty impressed by it. I like content aware, but it's always such a frustration because you always have to like sample different areas. You kind of got to go in and fix it up, even in Photoshop. And what we did this year is we basically said, we're going to make it AI. We're going to let the AI do it. So you don't have to like deal with it. So I'm going to basically first take out the guy in this photo, which is basically just highlight him. And so in most content aware, you'd be able to do this pretty easy. You might have to do a little bit touch ups. But you'll see he goes away. And now I'm going to actually do this old tractor as well. And so within a few seconds, I can pretty much create a blank build that used to have a lot of stuff. So we updated this year to be all AI based. So now you don't have to like mess with anything and you pretty much can take out anything in the photo. The next thing I'll show is our denoise tool. So just like in PowerDirector, we added denoise AI based. Let me pull in a high ISO image. So here's like, this is a decently high. This is like 1800 ISO, maybe a little higher. So you see a lot of grain in this, a lot of noise. I guess it's noise, not grain anymore. Sorry about that. And so the denoise it, I'm just going to click into our denoise under guided tools, hit apply, and you can see how clean that gets. So you can see everything on the strength. And it just cleans out all that noise on both of them. Obviously, the one that's a little lower ISO, you get really pristine. But even with the one that's really, really high, you get really clean image. The big difference is just it's a little bit darker because there's just not information there. So you can see it like in shadows as well. So this is another one that's really, really high at ISO. And you can see how much it cleans up the noise in the shadows.
And it sounds like you paid a lot of attention with the various tools to make them as easy as possible for customers
so
to use.
That's one thing we really pride ourselves in is we want to basically be able to bring pro results to any consumer, right? Because like a lot of the tools out there, they're great, but if you don't know what you're doing, it's almost impossible to work them. So our whole thing is like, we start off with like one click and then you can usually do adjustments from there. But our big focus is just making it easy for everybody to use. We added a new focus tool. This is also within our bokeh tools. Basically what it is, it lets you choose what you focus on in the picture. So like if I click around, I can basically pull the focus, and you can also use just the tool right here, which is saying, okay, it's near, far, and then it's a distance. And now I can up the focus or the degree blur. So this is just a way that you can like decide what you want to have in focus in your image. One other thing I guess I can show. It's our new overlays and stickers. So like a lot of apps and things have stickers and stuff. We want to throw that onto the desktop. So like if you have like an image, you can throw a sticker on it. And one nice thing about PhotoDirector is if like I throw just a sticker here, if I make it big, I can actually decide to move it behind layers. So with our AI object detection, like what you saw within the effects where it like outlined people and you can put it back on just the subject. We have that in PhotoDirector basically through all of our tools. And basically you can basically just take it, stickers and layer them. And then the other thing we added this year is our overlays. So if you have like an image and you wanted to throw an animated overlay, give it a little bit more, I don't know, like a more realistic feel or just kind of bring it to life a little bit, you can just add one of our animated overlays and then export it as a GIF, or you could freeze this and export it as an image with a little bit more like ash falling in front or like stars and things like that.
Very cool. So how many machines does a license cover for your customers?
I believe it's 2 for every license you buy. So if you have Director Suite 365, it's going to cover 2 machines.
Once again, the pricing on these starts at a monthly subscription of what, about $20, you said?
Oh yeah. So PowerDirector 365 starts at $20 a month.
Terrific. For more information, where's the best place for people to go?
CyberLink.com.
CYBER link.com. David Morgan, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Yeah, thank you, Fred. Always appreciate your time.